Well, hello there.
Hello?
With everything going on, I can't do a normal update video and keep it to my normal, super drawn out, long ass, boring video. It'd be twice the length. So I'm gonna split it into Ukraine, and the second one is gonna be everything else that's happening. Well, they have you pinpoint focused on Ukraine and are stealing our money still. I also have to be really careful about what I say because you know who pays the bills. So there's a lot I'd like to say, but it's got to be a lot less.
I think I've given you the wrong impression. Larry's anus is fine.
Shut the fuck up, okay? Shut the fuck up!
All I'm saying is don't take any chances here, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, this is serious, all right?
Yeah, no.
Good, because I care about you.
Yeah, thanks.
I know some of you are happy about that. All right, on Ukraine, it's nothing we're being told. Everything is misinformation. You've bought it, I've bought it, both out of an eagerness to hear that the underdog is beating the bully or to see things unfold in real time and be a part of it. Everyone bought into some level of bullshit because it was what we were fed. And part of me does blame Ukraine and Russia both for the misinformation.
Can you state, Mr. President-elect, can you state categorically, Mr. President-elect, can you give us a question? You're attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you give us a question?
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you...
And then we over here in the United States, either on Reddit or YouTube or Facebook or whatever, are pushing their stuff for them because we want to see it. And I don't know if we'll ever know what the truth is over there. Additionally, there's volunteers that went over there from the United States, Britain, and a few other countries, and they're finding out firsthand that there's been a lot of misinformation. And I think that Russia's capabilities initially were very overblown, but now that we're in it, they're kind of being underrated. Doing my own detective work, I'm going to show you this video here. I'm going to show you a video of a guy that signed up to go over there in a second. But there's this news coverage that shows, hey, there were 2 strikes simultaneously with precision missiles.
Kyiv is still the focus. Overnight, though, General, the big focus was out west. And these strikes, one of them just miles from the Polish border. Significant?
Yeah, well, what this is a part is they began to open up a campaign in the west here after 2 weeks of the war, which has largely been focused in the east, in the north, and the south, on the east side of Ukraine. And this is about taking control of this area eventually, but they started with an aerial bombardment campaign, certainly very close to the Polish border here. It's well established that a lot of our resupplies for the Ukrainians are coming through Poland and also through Romania. Eventually, they're going to interdict those supplies that are coming in here.
Got it.
And you've got this guy who was sold on some bullshit and went over there, and he talks about 2 missile strikes on the exact area that the news was reporting. But here's his video. It's not mine. I'm going to post the Twitter link from the originator of the video. I saw this on Salty Cracker's video today. I'm going to roll it unedited so you can see it. I'm not monetized as per usual. I'm not making any money off of this, so here you go.
So for any of you who are wondering what is going on, alright, we were part of the Georgian National Legion, the 102nd Ukrainian Territorial Defense, okay? Our base got fucked up, the base right next to us got fucked up, Americans, British, tons of British dead, alright? They're not saying nothing, they're counting our dead as their dead. They're trying to send us to Kiev with no fucking weapons, no kit, no fucking plates. The people who are lucky enough to get weapons are only getting magazines with like 10 fucking rounds, okay? When they wanted to send us to Kiev, we said no. Our whole group, a bunch of Americans, Canadians, British. So they told us we had to get the fuck out or they were going to shoot us in the back, alright? So me, this British guy, and another American, we fucking hid in the back of an ambulance to get out. We got to the border, and it was a whole nother mess. When you get to the border, anyone who has kit, anyone who has any military shit, they're fucking pulling you out of the line and they're sending you back to the front. We got dropped off about 5 clicks from the fucking from the border and we walked. And we get to the border, and this humanitarian group with a bunch of ex-SF veterans from England pull us to the side and say, you need to get, like, pulled us out and fucking, like, hit us. And they were like, you need to dump all your kit. They're pulling people out, cutting up passports, sending them back. So we dumped our shit. We got, like, in all of our fucking, we got in, like, Red Cross vests, and they had, like, fucking humanitarian passes to get us through the Ukrainian border. People need to stop coming here. It's a trap, and they're not letting you fucking leave. The best way to leave is like in a Vic or a car or something. People who get on by vehicle have a better chance of hiding their fucking kit in the back, doing whatever the fuck they can, but do not try to leave Ukraine on foot if you're a volunteer. It's a mess, and it's a trap, and I have multiple people who can confirm this story for me. And
that shit's serious. Like, it's insane that these people are going over there and getting murdered before they could even get in the fight, and then the Ukrainians aren't even giving them what was promised. So, yeah, there's a country that's desperate trying to get bodies to go fight this battle for them, and they want all the help they can get, but at the same time, they're not holding up their end of the bargain. And it's very frustrating. The reason the American war machine is so effective is because we bring so many things to the table simultaneously. We have expeditionary forces, we have air, sea, and land capability, as well as really good reconnaissance and intelligence. So we bring all that to the table with air superiority and the ability to call in reinforcements wherever we are. There's not anywhere in the world we can't park ordnance and forces if somebody wants to fuck around and find out. How many places we can do that at once, who knows? But when, and this is not taking any shots at anybody, I don't have combat experience. I've been deployed downrange. I have never shot anybody. I've never done anything badass. I am nobody. I'm not taking any shots at these guys. It's just an assessment. When you take somebody out of their comfort zone and you put them in an area where they're unfamiliar and they're reliant on the people there who don't have the best intentions because you're nobody to them, you're not the same warfighter that you are with the force of the American military or even the British military or the German military, so on and so forth. And there's a lot of guys that have a lot of combat experience, and there's dudes that were special forces and everything. And there's multiple instances where they go abroad and they're either successful or unsuccessful. And a lot of that's dependent on supply chains, intelligence, and all that other stuff. These guys went over to help. They saw what was going on. They had good intentions, and they went over there with the best intentions to help those people. And they fucked them over. It's a hard position to be in, and I don't disparage those people that went over there and tried to help. It's not something I would have done, and I'm not going to say anything else on that. But they got lied to by a country in a desperate situation. So you have to have all the information to make an informed decision, but as we've found to be the theme with this entire thing is you can't trust anything. There's no clear-cut information. It's all muddied and mired in deceit or manipulations or choice words or anything like that to try to drum up support for whichever side. And I'm not remotely qualified to talk about this, so that's where this part of the conversation is going to stop. S2 Underground is who I would rely on for intelligence updates and all that other stuff. They haven't posted anything in a bit, but I'm sure they're working on something. It's a very interesting and evolving situation. I know there's some Instagram channels and things like that that are putting out a lot of videos. Funker Tactical used to be someone you could rely on, but they're getting snapped up too with like posting things, and it turns out to be the exact opposite of what they're saying. And they're trying to get information out and be informed on it, but it's people are getting misled because there's no clear information. It's definitely the fog of war. And to be 100% clear, my heart goes out to the civilians and the Ukrainians and everybody in this fight that didn't pick it. And I really hope this doesn't spill into a world war, because nobody's really ready for a world war, especially after all the struggles that we've gone through these past couple years. I don't think anyone's provisioned, trained, or ready for a war after all that on any side. On the topic of war, I'm absolutely disgusted with how many people are calling for it. There's no shortage of people in the media, any representatives name their political party, or personalities on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. None of these people are going to pick up a rifle and go do the job, but they're more than happy to send a bunch of us to go do that job. It's a risk they're willing to take with our safety. And that disgusts me. I hate that more than anything. You lead by example. You don't send other people to do your dirty work. There's a trend out there for all these elitists to be the ones that are morally righteous or the ones that are going to decide the fate of the world or any of this other stuff. And all they're doing is using wars or strife or ruin to further their agendas, using good people to achieve something that only benefits them, not a just cause or something that actually benefits, say, the United States. It's only their agendas or their beliefs or feelings. And quite frankly, I'd be happy rounding all of them up, all the Redditors, all those people calling for violence, enlisting them as E1s in the infantry and sending them first. They'd be real quiet after that. Because they're damn sure not going to do it themselves. They're not going to pick up a rifle. They're not going to lead people. They're not going to go do dangerous things. They're not going to fight. They're just going to talk. And they'll wish that they hadn't when all of the good people they sent to go do their bidding are gone and their problems show up on their doorstep and then they have no one else to fight for them because they cried wolf or they sent people to go do something they shouldn't have done in the first place. But they don't think about that. It's all about money and short-sightedness and their idealistic agenda. That's it. Then you have media types like this who are trying to plant in the back of your head that it's okay to go to war.
This war is moving closer and closer to where U.S. forces or other NATO forces are along NATO's border with Ukraine. That would send this war in a very different direction.
Because, of course, an attack on one is an attack on all when it comes to NATO, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Picking your brain.
This shit is absolutely disgusting. And I know some of you are going to be like, well, they didn't really say anything there. It's kind of, they're just saying it. They're not saying we should do it. Well, they're trying to say like, oh, well, an attack on one's an attack on all. It'd be a real shame if that happened, right, Tim? Fuck off. We know what you're doing, dude. Stop it. The shit's garbage. And then all the while they're fact-checking the stuff that does come out to be true, like the Ukrainian biolabs that are getting funded by the US to do whatever they're doing. And we can't trust Russia or the United States or Ukraine to tell us the truth, which is the problem. So you have to rely on conspiracy theories or coming up with the answer on your own. And it's hard because you don't know what to believe. What I can tell you for a fact is there's Ukrainian biolabs that are being funded by the United States, and it's been confirmed on the Senate floor or wherever this hearing's being held. It was confirmed there.
Does Ukraine have chemical or biological weapons?
Ukraine has biological research facilities, which, in fact, we are now quite concerned Russian forces may be seeking to gain control of. So we are working with the Ukrainians on how they can prevent any of those research materials from falling into the hands of Russian forces should they approach.
I'm sure you're aware that the Russian propaganda groups are already putting out there all kinds of information about how they've uncovered a plot by the Ukrainians to release biological weapons in the country and with NATO's coordination. If there's a biological or chemical weapon incident or attack inside of Ukraine, is there any doubt in your mind that 100% it would be the Russians that would be behind it?
There is no doubt in my mind, Senator, and it is classic Russian technique to blame on the other guy what they're planning to do themselves.
And multiple people are talking about it. But those fact checkers will be the first ones to run in there and be like, no, I'm missing information. You don't understand because you're stupid. And then they'll tell you something that no one said, like, there's no US biolabs. But in reality, no one fucking said that. Tim Pool said something almost identical to this. I'm sure some of you are going to say it in the comments, but They're Ukrainian biolabs that were being funded by the United States. This is 100% fact. Now, there are some biolabs that are like, holy shit, these viruses and biological weapons are terrifying. We need to know how to beat them. And they're doing good things. But there's also other labs that have done other things in unspecified countries that fucked up our life for 2 years. So where's the line? Even if they're doing good things in Ukraine, if they fall into enemy hands, guess what? All that shit's out the window. So I don't know. Or if they're just shooting around it. I don't know. I can't tell you what the truth is, and you look like a crazy person trying to figure it out. And if you start talking about it, if it doesn't fit the narrative, you're a crazy person. And all you gotta do is wait a couple weeks and the evidence that it's true will come out anyway. So just be patient, I guess. It's just an absolute pile of shit, and I hate it because I try to be a very facts-based person and make sound decisions based on information that I'm provided and know to be true. But our society and the world as a whole has devolved into this, let me control the information instead of just giving information to people, because that's freedom and they hate freedom. So here we are. All I can say is believe what you can touch and believe what you hear from trusted sources like S2 Underground, or if you found another one that you like. And again, I'm just going to cut this short here so that I can do the other update video and it's not forever long, but there's a lot of other stuff going on, like I said before. Like the government just passed an omnibus bill that was $1.5 trillion, like we needed that right now. And they gave themselves a raise in the process, which was really cool. But more to follow on that. Stay smart and question literally everything you hear. Question all of it, because who knows if it's true, and try not to go crazy in the process. The last thing I'm going to say here is I'm not going to sprint out here and condemn the Ukrainians. There's a lot of good people that I know who are Ukrainian that I've deployed with and that worked for me in some capacity. Tactical Accountants, and I know there's another YouTube channel I'm forgetting and I'm going to regret it, but Tactical Accountants is also Ukrainian. There's a lot of people that have struggles outside of politics right now. They're just worried about their family members. They're worried about a lot of stuff that's outside of their control. And I say that to say, don't forget the human aspect of this. When you're talking about it or making comments or something like that, there's people that are Ukrainian that have a stake in this, and they see how people are behaving, and you saying something like, fuck them, let them figure it out, or something like that. While the sentiment can be said in a much better way, that also puts a bad taste in their mouth that you would have been friends with otherwise. So just try to have a little compassion and empathy in a world where that's a finite resource, and reach out to them, make sure they're doing okay, see if there's anything you can do for them if they need anything, and just do what you can. That's all I can say there. As always, thanks for watching. Take care out there.